Hello, Achieve Virtual Education Academy teachers, and welcome to another wonderful weekly update from myself, Derek Eaton. Happy September 11th. I say happy because many of us back in 2001 probably remember exactly where we were and exactly what we were doing when unfortunate events at 9/11 did take place. So with that, I do wish you a happy Friday, and hopefully you all give an extra warm hug to your students and to your families today in remembrance of 2001. With that, moving on to this week's weekly update. The first slide is the heaviest slide and arguably the most important that I'll be sharing this week, but our professional development plan is kind of being evolved as we go and not purposefully. Michelle and I always meet each summer and develop our plan for what we're going to cover each month and how we're going to disseminate that information and get you to participate. However, with the moving out of My Big Campus and into It's Learning through this course of this year, we continue to hit a few bumps, just as you would expect. And this particular bump is the slowness of It's Learning being able to migrate or receive migrated content from My Big Campus. Back over, but prior in the spring, they were excited about getting us started and fired up for summer school. Well, now the realization is that would have never been able to happen as some of the tools they've promised us are slowly being constructed and slowly moving content over. Because of that, not everyone would have access to their own content yet in It's Learning, which makes the learning hard to take ownership of for you. And so as a result, we are slowing what we were planning on doing down, but also notice that not everyone has finished the training course. September already is about a third over, and then October with our fall break, there's about a 2-week window. We tend to stay away from each other and leave each other alone, and because of that, we are assigning the September and October do on your own lesson from Michelle is complete the training course. We really need everyone to complete the training course, and it will take you longer than 2 hours to complete anyway, and so it's kind of fair. You know, generally when Michelle creates these lessons that you do on your own, she does keep in mind the 2-hour window that a normal webinar with me would take. And so as a result, what she's done is decided just to make the training course the content for the month of September and the month of October. Our next professional development webinar then is November 5th. I will send reminders, but please have it completed by then so we have something to build on then, and hopefully a better timeline and reality check of, yes, January we're going with It's Learning, or hey, January it's looking more and more like we're going to continue in My Big Campus and It's Learning will be our summer school content holder. So just kind of an FYI there. Do please make sure you get your the training content or course completed for It's Learning. Again, there are real lessons in there that are designed for specific subjects. You're not in it for that. You're in it to experience what being in a course would be like in It's Learning, and then also it gives you samples of some of the tools and question types you could create or evolve in it, which is a lot better than what we currently have in My Big Campus. So get familiar with it and complete the training course. Moving on, IDOE Outreach Coordinator was Star Hairston. She was supposed to meet with me on Thursday at 1 o'clock, and she that morning rescheduled. We're not sure why, and it's either way, it's not a big deal. She is rescheduled to the 24th. I'd just like to keep you guys kind of abreast of what's going on with that as we are in F school, and some of the DOE's thoughts and helpful tips on what we could try or be doing to help us improve as a school with our student achievement. So that's just really an FYI. Only 4 more weeks until a couple of things. One, our district and most of our teachers, certainly not all, so some of you may have modified versions of this, but we're looking at fall break staring us right in the face. Man, crazy. With that, please be prepared to not be away from your students for the full 2 weeks. I understand many of you go on vacation and do things, but with technology and Wi-Fi anymore, we can certainly still grade and send responses to students. Schools like Madison Grant, who have been a big partner, they don't get full 2 weeks. They still take the 2 days. So when a teacher's gone for the full 2 weeks, that can be very frustrating to not only the students and the families, but the schools start lighting up my emails. So please be looking ahead and planning accordingly some of your availability, and it's never too early really to start advertising that for your students. Might be a little early, I guess, but as you get about 2 weeks out from fall break, you might want to start notifying your students that you may have some modified availability during that down period, especially if you're traveling. The other is the first pay of the school year. The first 9 weeks will be upon us around then, and so I'll start running the reports, your roster reports, seeing who started your class and submitting your pay based on that information, along with what I'm either hearing or seeing in Genius regarding some of your efforts with the students. Although I do say so far this year it's been very positive. So nice job. So anyways, 4 weeks away from kind of those two items. Non-working students, I've received quite a bit, and we are working through that. As so you know, some of the older students, if they're in their 20s, 30s, and they haven't started any class and have been enrolled since, late July, early August, we're looking at withdrawing those pretty quickly. But anyone who's started a class, any of their classes at this point, we're looking to hold for student count day, which is next week. So then if they're still not working and we're still harassing them and cannot get them to jump and get through the content for us so they can potentially work towards graduation, we will start making more serious contacts with them regarding withdrawing them as either missing or disinterest in curriculum if they're older, for incompletions of work and just being tardy. So bear with us in that process. Next week, Thursday the 17th, we stop taking applications, and by the 18th, anybody we have, we really in the application queue that we know is joining us, we're making a full-hearted effort to get their records in so we can get students placed accordingly. Size-wise, we're going to be about where we were last year, maybe a little bigger, not as big as I had thought early in the semester, but it's going to be around 200. Whether that's 190, whether that's 210, I don't know, but we'll be somewhere around there. Surveys, last couple weeks I've sent you links with the reminder and the message about 2 surveys I've sent you. Neither is very long, but they are about my leadership. Has to do with my continued learning of myself, and then hopefully improvement efforts for our school through action research through the Indiana Principal Leadership Institute. I do show that I put Academy here. I'll update for the Friday version through My Big Campus, but it is the Indiana Principal Leadership Institute as I continue to educate myself through this. It's one of those things where getting some baseline data about the staff, perception of me as a leader is where we start, and then we kind of go from there. So I'd appreciate it if you complete it. I did have the night school staff complete it, but only having 5 or 6 versus what could be 30 to 50. Different surveys would be much more important and much more valuable for what I'm trying to do. So I'd appreciate it if you do it. So thank you. And then lastly, enjoy your long weekend. Hopefully you enjoy this. It's obviously a couple years old, but after freeing Tom Brady, I hope you enjoy your first weekend of NFL football if you're into football. So happy looking into mid-September already. Happy NFL season, and happy looking at fall break on the horizon. Again, give your kids an extra special hug as well as your family, and have a wonderful weekend.